So welcome back, friends. We'll be performing the lab exercise for today's class. We'll be targeting to perform 3 lab exercises. We'll be creating one Linux virtual machine, one more Windows virtual machine, and try to establish a ping request. So what are all the port numbers that need to be enabled to establish the connection successfully? By disabling which particular port will be able to block the incoming traffic? That we will learn in these 2 lab exercises. One more, we'll be creating another lab Bastion host. In this exercise, we'll be creating 3 virtual machines, Windows-based virtual machines. One will be a Bastion host that has got the public IP address, and another 2 virtual machines. One will be a hacker virtual machine we will refer to as where a hacker will be trying to hack into our private network, corporate network. Another one will be the core corporate network itself. So we will see how to enable access only from the Bastion host to the corporate network and how to block the network traffic from for a hacker. All right. So let's perform this lab exercise. To begin with, let us go back to our AWS management console. Okay, so I have default region North California is what has been selected. I will be moving on to creating a virtual machine, Linux virtual machine. Can someone guide me how to get the service of EC2 instance? Could you please help me out?
In the search bar, you can type EC2 or you can click on services, sir.
That's correct. Thank you so much. May I know who is this?
Srihari, sir.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Srihari. Okay, in the search bar, I gave the service name EC2, and I'll be picking up this EC2 instance to create a virtual machine. First, let us create a Linux-based virtual machine. We will enable the port numbers. Let us see what happens. Okay, I'm creating a virtual machine. I'll go with Linux, Amazon Linux. I'm giving a name ICM Linux underscore ICMP underscore lab for the virtual machine name. Number of instances, 1 is more than enough. By default, we will go with T2 micro instance type, which is free tier eligible. Key pair, of course, we need to create a key pair. I'll be creating a PEM key. I'll provide the name Linux key. The naming convention, you can give anything. I'm downloading this key. Key pair has been downloaded. Next comes the network settings. Here is the important thing. By default, please observe, allow SSH traffic from the internet, that is from anywhere. From anywhere throughout the globe, they can access this computer. If you want to predefine only one specific computer has to log in, yes, that also you can do it, but we are not doing that. Here we need to enable the ICMP packet, correct? Ping command. So for that, we will click on edit network settings. Subnet, it is not important. We can create the let the virtual machine create in any availability zone of Amazon's choice. I'll just leave it to Amazon. Let them create in any place, does not matter. Public IP address, yes, it is needed, correct? Because without this public IP address, if it is not enabled, you will not be able to log in back. You will not be able to take SSH connection to this computer. Security group, yes, I will give SG for ICMP, maybe. SSH by default, it is already there here. Okay, that is a secured shell. With that only we'll be able to log in. Please make a note. The SSH port number is 22, and it is a TCP port, Transmission Control Protocol port. There is only one security group has been created here, and only one security rule under one security group. This is what the security group name, what we have created. Likewise, we can create many number of security groups. Under this particular security group, there is only one security rule, that is SSH, correct? We'll create one more security group. One more security rule, that is for ICMP. Here we go, all ICMP IPv4, correct? And with this security port number enabled, only then we will be able to establish the ping command. Okay, now I'm adding this new security rule. Source is custom. Source destination is anywhere, that is from any place throughout the globe they can do the ping command. With this, I'll be creating this EC2 instance. So we are ready to go. It has been successfully initiated. So this is the virtual machine name, and we have the public IP address. Let me capture this public IP address. I will paste it in the chat. Once we are ready to go, I will let you know. You can do a ping command from your computer to check whether you are able to access this virtual machine, whether you are able to communicate, whether you are able to say a hi message and the server is replying back to you. That's what. It is still getting initialized. And availability zone, you can see it has picked up US West 1B, since we did not specifically mention which particular availability zone where we want to host our virtual machine. It should be up and running anytime. Okay, good. Now the status check 2 of 2 is passed. This virtual machine is up and running. We can access it. We can connect. So can someone help me how to connect to this virtual machine?
You have a connect option there, sir.
Okay, good. I'll click on connect. Then
SSH client.
Okay, no, we already have this here. EC2 instance connect.
Okay.
Okay, so we can simply click on connect. We'll be able to get connect to this virtual machine.
I'm able to ping it, sir.
We will see. We'll check. Okay, now we are able to connect to this virtual machine. Okay, and let's try to ping this computer from our local machine. So the IP address is 54.193.175.28. From my local computer, I'm trying to establish the ping command, you can see I'm able to do the ping. I'm able to communicate with this server. Can you all try to do the same thing? Whoever has got access, you can give a -T followed by that ping command. It goes into a loop till you press Control-C or till you close this command prompt. Can someone try from your end? Let me know.
It's okay, sir.
Is it working?
It's working.
Okay, good. Let me minimize this. This is working because we have enabled the security port number ICMP. Okay, I will go ahead and delete that port for time being. All right. Inbound rules. Edit inbound rules. You can see here ICMP. This is the one. I will delete it. I will save the rules. I'll come back to my command prompt once again. Within no time, it should get disconnected. Or maybe I can press Control-C. I can try once again establishing the communication. Usually it takes some time, 2 to 3 minutes. Because it should get refreshed.
For me, the request is already timed out, sir.
It is already timed out. Okay. So here you can see the inbound rule has been successfully implemented. We'll go back and check again. For some reason, it is still establishing the connectivity for me. But if I try to access that server, it will not work. Okay. However, I have the SSH port enabled. With that, I have direct access to the server. I can use it. Okay. So I can run all the commands. I'm into this server because the SSH port has been enabled. Now let us go ahead and delete this SSH port. Let us see what happens. Edit inbound rules. Here we have that SSH port number. I will delete this as well. You can see I already lost the connection. I'm not able to access the server. Though I was connected few seconds ago, I lost the connection because that particular port number has been disabled or deleted. So this is how a port number or the security port works. This is a form of firewall. Okay, to enable the security, to enable the inbound traffic or disable the inbound traffic. Similarly, enable the outbound traffic or disable the outbound traffic. Let us try to perform the same lab exercise in our Windows environment. Okay, everything is same. There is a little bit deviation. That is the only reason why I'm showing this lab exercise once again, or else I could have simply requested you people to replicate this lab in Windows. So for that, once again, I will create another virtual machine. For this, the name I will give it as Windows ICMP lab, maybe. And the operating system will be Windows. Of course, the number of instances, we will choose only one. By default, we will go with the T2 micro instance type. That configuration is more than enough. We'll create a new key pair. For my easy understanding, I will give the key pair name as Windows key. I'm creating a key pair. And once again, we need to provide the security groups, right? We need to enable the security group. I'm creating a new security group. Beneath that, here you can see there is a RDP port by already provided, enabled. Whereas in, can someone tell me in while creating a Linux virtual machine, which port was enabled? It was SSH, right? Port number 22.
Yes, sir.
Yes, whereas here in Windows, it is port number 3389. You need to be very careful. You should be very thorough with these port numbers. There are only few number of port numbers that we use day in and day out, but these are very, very important. And another port number we need to add to establish that ping command, ICMP request. What is that port number? Can someone tell me? Just now we did. It is ICMP port, right? All ICMP IPv4, correct? And source, I will select anywhere. For anywhere, it is 0.0.0.0/0. That's more than enough for our today's lab exercise. I'm creating a virtual machine. The virtual machine is ready. So here you can see the ICMP Linux virtual machine, what we have created earlier. It is already up and running. We do not need that. We need to go with Windows virtual machine, what we have just hosted. It is getting ready now. The virtual machine, the bare metal virtual machine is ready. The operating system is getting installed now at this stage. Operating system and maybe additional add-on softwares, if at all any that we have already added, those things are getting implemented now. That is what happening during status check of 1/2 and 2/2. So let me share this public IP address in the chat for us to check whether it is whether we are able to establish the connectivity. Okay, in Windows environment, it is a little bit deviation. We'll have to enable the internal firewall in the operating system. Whereas in Linux, it is not like that. So the virtual machine is still getting initialized. It should be up and running in the next 1 to 2 minutes. So here you can observe the availability zone. By default, in both the cases, it picked up the same availability zone. Maybe there is enough resources available in this particular location. Randomly, it did not pick. So the AWS is so intelligent, it will check which particular availability zone has got more free space available. It has got more resources, free resources are available. Accordingly, it will create. All right, good. Now the Windows virtual machine is also ready. It is up and running. Let's connect. So can someone help me out how to connect to this virtual machine? You should be well versed with this. Okay, I will click on connect. Okay, next. What is next?
RDP client.
Okay, good. Next, further.
Download the remote desktop file.
Okay, fantastic. I will download it on my desktop. Okay, what next?
You have to get the password.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, get password. Browse the .pem file.
Yep.
Correct. So this is the PEM file. I'll click on decrypt the file. That's
Copy
good.
The password.
Correct. Copy the password. Good. So now I need to connect to this virtual machine. Let me follow the non-traditional way. I'll go to remote desktop protocol. Okay, RDP. Let me pick the IP address. Okay, the public IP address, what we have is 54.151.127.95. The default username will be administrator, and the password I need to get again. You can see the layout, everything got changed within no time while we were performing the lab exercise. Did you notice that? That is because
Yes, sir.
usually during weekends, Amazon will be keep implementing the new changes. Okay, they have deployed the new GUI interface. So that is why it got changed. This will be there till end of today. From tomorrow, once again, it will be back to normal. I think I did not. I think the password got expired. Let's see. Okay, now I'm able to successfully log into this virtual machine. Let me share the screen again. Okay, now we are able to log into this virtual machine. Let us try to establish the ping command.
Not able to ping, sir.
Yes, because in Windows environment, there is a little bit deviation. Okay. We need to enable the internal firewall in Windows. I hope all of you can see, right? It says a requested timed out. The request is timed out. It is not able to communicate. My laptop, my computer, it is sending a hi message and the server is not accepting because there is an internal firewall that we need to enable it. We have Windows firewall. Do you see that inbound rules? Here we have network and file sharing. Let me maximize this. we have file and printer sharing, ICMP v4. Here you can see the this particular inbound rule is disabled. Okay, you can do it in several ways. You can click twice on this.
Sir, your screen is not visible for us. So it is in RDP file only.
Oh, okay, give me a second. Let me stop sharing and
Yeah, now we can see.
okay. I closed everything and so we have a Windows firewall in the server. We have inbound rules. And inbound rules, we have file and printer sharing. So you can see here we have file and printer sharing echo request, ICMP v4, correct? To enable this, we can, there are several ways. You can click twice. You have the enable option, select that, click on apply, okay. You can do that. Now it has been enabled. You can see a green check mark. Similarly, if you want to disable it, there is simply onto the extreme right, you have that disable rule. You can click on that. It gets disabled. Similarly, you can enable it. Okay, so let me go back to my laptop where we have established the ping, previous ping command.
Now I'm able to ping, sir.
You're able to ping now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Friends, you can see that we are able to ping this server because we have enabled that rule. Let me go back and disable this rule once again. I disabled this rule. You can see here, the request timed out. Do you see that? So this is how a firewall works. Okay. Most of the servers, they disable this ICMP echo request. Most of the servers. Why? Imagine while I'm talking to you, there are so many participants in the class. If everyone is started trying to say hi, trying to communicate with me, will I be in a position to speak to each and everyone? No, right? I can talk to any one person at a time, correct? Same time, I have so much of burden of trying to speak to each and every person. The same thing happens with the server as well. There is one kind of attack called as DDoS attack, distributed denial of service. The hackers, they will pull in about tens and thousands of devices, computers, and they will target one particular IP address. They'll be keep sending this a ping command, echo request. The server will start reciprocating, will start replying to each and every request, and there is so much of workload on the server will crash. The intention of that particular hacker is to make that server get overheated, get too much of workload, and get crashed, so that that particular web page or that web server will not work. So to avoid that, deliberately this ICMP will be disabled. So now I enable it once again. One last time, let me disable it. I disable it once again. You will see the request timed out. Got it? All right, great. We were able to successfully perform 2 lab exercises. The last one is Bastion host. This is the lab exercise that we are going to perform now.